Tibet. The name itself evokes a sense of mystery. Here, nestled amongst the planet's most formidable peaks, lies a land steeped in ancient wisdom and vibrant spirituality. Monasteries cling to mountainsides, their gilded roofs glinting in the sun. Tibet is a land that touches the soul, inviting travelers to shed the weight of the world and embrace a different pace of life. The sky stretches vast and blue, a dome seemingly close enough to touch. Here, amidst the soaring Himalayas, one can truly feel the pulse of the planet. Monks, clad in crimson robes, move with a quiet grace, their faces etched with wisdom. The journey to Tibet is often arduous, a test of endurance and spirit, but the rewards are immeasurable. To stand in the shadow of Mount Everest, to witness the sun rise over the Tibetan plateau, is to experience a profound shift in perspective. A journey to Tibet is a journey into the heart of a culture, a pilgrimage to a land that time cannot diminish. Tibet, often called the roof of the world, is a land defined by its dramatic geography. Towering peaks pierce the sky, deep valleys carve through the earth. At its heart lies the Tibetan Plateau, the highest and largest plateau on Earth. Averaging over 14,800 feet above sea level, this vast expanse stretches for hundreds of miles. Dominating the southern horizon are the Himalayas, a majestic chain of snow-capped peaks that include the world's highest mountain, Mount Everest. These mountains, formed by the collision of tectonic plates, are a testament to the immense power of nature. They are also the source of many of Asia's great rivers, their glaciers feeding the Yangtze, the Mekong, and the Ganges. These rivers sustain life for billions of people across the continent, making Tibet a vital water source for much of Asia. Yet, despite these challenges, life finds a way. Tibet is a land of resilience where both people and nature have learned to adapt and thrive in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. Tibet's history stretches back millennia, long before the arrival of Buddhism. Archaeological evidence suggests that nomadic tribes roamed the plateau as far back as 2000 BCE. These early inhabitants lived in harmony with the land, their lives dictated by the rhythms of nature. By the 7th century CE, a distinct Tibetan identity had emerged, centered around the Yarlung Valley. This period saw the rise of the Zhongjung culture, known for its distinctive art, architecture, and spiritual beliefs. The people of this era were warriors and horsemen, skilled in archery and swordsmanship. They were also deeply spiritual, their beliefs rooted in the Bon religion. Bon, an animistic tradition that predates Buddhism, emphasized a reverence for nature and the worship of spirits residing in mountains, rivers, and trees. Bon rituals often involved elaborate costumes, music, and chanting, elements that would later be incorporated into Tibetan Buddhist practices. Shamans, believed to possess the ability to communicate with spirits, played a crucial role in Bon society. Evidence of this ancient past can still be seen today in the ruins of fortresses and burial mounds scattered across the Tibetan plateau. The echoes of this ancient past resonate in the stories, songs, and traditions that continue to be passed down through generations. The 7th century marked a turning point in Tibetan history with the rise of Songtsen Gampo, a visionary leader who unified the Tibetan plateau under his rule. A skilled military strategist, Songtsen Gampo expanded his kingdom through a series of strategic alliances and conquests. He established his capital at Lhasa, a city destined to become the heart of Tibetan civilization. Recognizing the importance of literacy and education, Songtsen Gampo commissioned the creation of a Tibetan script, adapting an Indian alphabet to suit the Tibetan language. This pivotal development facilitated the translation of Buddhist scriptures and laid the groundwork for the flourishing of Tibetan literature and scholarship in the centuries to come. Songtsen Gampo's reign also saw the introduction of Buddhism to Tibet. He married princesses from Nepal and China, both devout Buddhists, who brought with them statues of the Buddha and Buddhist scriptures. These princesses are revered in Tibetan history for their role in propagating the Dharma, or Buddhist teachings, in Tibet. This marked the beginning of a new era for Tibet, one in which the teachings of the Buddha would profoundly shape the destiny of the Tibetan people. Section 5. The Arrival of the Dharma. The arrival of Buddhism in Tibet was not a sudden transformation but rather a gradual process of assimilation and adaptation. While Songtsen Gampo is credited with introducing the religion, it was during the reign of King Trisong Detsen in the 8th century that Buddhism truly took root in Tibetan soil. Trisong Detsen, a devout and visionary ruler, recognized the transformative power of the Dharma and sought to make it accessible to his people. He invited the renowned Indian scholar Shantarakshita to establish the first Buddhist monastery in Tibet at Samye. This marked a turning point in the transmission of Buddhist teachings to Tibet. Recognizing the need for a more esoteric form of Buddhism to complement Shantarakshita's teachings, Trisong Detsen then invited Padmasambhava, a charismatic tantric master from India, to subdue the negative forces hindering the spread of Buddhism. Padmasambhava, also known as Guru Rinpoche, is revered as a second Buddha in Tibetan Buddhism. The combined efforts of Shantarakshita and Padmasambhava laid a solid foundation for the flourishing of Buddhism in Tibet. Section 6. Compassion Incarnate, the Dalai Lamas. Central to Tibetan Buddhism is the institution of the Dalai Lama, believed to be the reincarnation of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion. The lineage began in the 14th century with Gendun Drup, a revered scholar and teacher. Upon his death, it is believed that he reincarnated as a young boy. This boy, recognized through a series of signs and tests, became the second Dalai Lama, Gendun Gyatso. The title Dalai Lama, meaning Ocean of Wisdom, was bestowed upon the third in the lineage, Sonam Gyatso, by the Mongol ruler Altan Khan. This marked the beginning of the Dalai Lama's role as both spiritual and temporal leader of Tibet. The fifth Dalai Lama, Ngawang Lobsang Gyatso, consolidated this authority in the 17th century, establishing the Ganden Phodrang government in Lhasa. The current Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, the 14th in the lineage, is one of the most recognizable spiritual leaders in the world. His message of peace, compassion, and nonviolence has resonated with millions worldwide, transcending religious and cultural boundaries. Section 7. A Tapestry of Faith and Tradition. The daily life of Tibetans is deeply interwoven with their Buddhist faith. Prayer flags strung across mountain passes and rooftops flutter in the wind, carrying prayers and blessings. Prayer wheels inscribed with mantras are spun clockwise, releasing their sacred verses into the world. From a young age, Tibetans are immersed in Buddhist teachings. Monasteries serve not only as places of worship, but also as centers of learning, offering education and spiritual guidance. Pilgrims make their way to sacred sites like the Jokang Temple in Lhasa and Mount Kailash, considered the abode of Shiva by Hindus and a sacred mountain in Tibetan Buddhism. Tibetan cuisine, shaped by the region's harsh climate and cultural influences, is simple yet flavorful. Tsampa, a staple food made from roasted barley flour, is often mixed with butter tea, a salty beverage that provides sustenance in the high altitudes. Festivals play a vital role in Tibetan culture, offering opportunities for communities to come together and celebrate their shared heritage. These festivals, with their vibrant colors, traditional music, and joyous celebrations, offer a glimpse into the soul of Tibet. Section 8. Tibet's Enduring Legacy. Tibet, despite the challenges it has faced, remains a beacon of spirituality and cultural resilience. Its ancient wisdom, rooted in Buddhist teachings and a deep reverence for nature, offers valuable lessons for a world grappling with environmental degradation and spiritual alienation. The Tibetan people, through their unwavering faith and commitment to nonviolence, have demonstrated the transformative power of compassion in the face of adversity. The Dalai Lama, a global symbol of peace, continues to inspire millions with his message of love, forgiveness, and universal responsibility. His teachings on mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and the interconnectedness of all beings resonate deeply in a world seeking meaning and purpose beyond material pursuits. Tibetan art, music, and literature offer a window into a rich inner world, reflecting centuries of contemplation and spiritual practice. The intricate mandalas, created from colored sand, symbolize the impermanence of all things and the importance of living in the present moment. In a world increasingly interconnected yet fragmented, Tibet's enduring legacy serves as a reminder of the importance of preserving cultural diversity and fostering interfaith dialogue. Tibet, the roof of the world, continues to inspire and uplift, beckoning us to look beyond the material and embrace the transformative power of the human spirit.